everyone, let's try it again. Neutral stand. Position.
Yeah.
Set. Proceed. Round 2. Student crew number 1. I intend to go myself out of the man. And to avoid anything to reduce growth up. Number 2. I intend to develop self-discipline in order to prevent myself and others. Number 3. I intend to use whatever class to protect myself and man and never to use it for offensive. Proceed. I just realized that like every picture you'll ever see of samurai, like going holding on to the sword, it's because otherwise it's like totally in the way. That way they just had it out of the way. Totally around the top. All right, so if I pull the sword out, we call that. And then when I shake whatever kind of fluids maybe on the sword off, we call that. And when I put it away in its home, it's referred to as. Remember, just a little bit, and then you bring the sword up, and then bring it back down and set it in place, right? So let's first just practice those. And again, as I grab the handle of the katana, that's referred to as the suba. Grab the suba by the suka, which is the handle, and pull it out of the saya, right? And again, the curve is pointed up or down? Up. So I want to make sure it's in this way, and I turn my wrist outward that way. So I'm like turning my palm towards me, my wrist bends out, and that's what allows me to pull the foot, right? So we're just going to spend like a minute on this, and I'm going to move through pretty quickly and start framing in the whole is important, right? So you're going to turn your wrist out, push out with your thumb, and then bato, and then jiburi, and then milto. In, up, in. And if you're getting it down pretty good, then do that whole part, like the no-go part, without looking in the mirror, right? Some of you are getting it down, but it's like you're watching yourself in the mirror. Okay, got it, right? Try and do it without looking in the mirror. Close your eyes. Go. Let's see it, Shivansh. Bato. Chiburi. Did I miss the chiburi or was it just that fast? Remember, chiburi in between, Shivansh, right? I'm going to go bato, and then chiburi, lift the hand up, and then shake the blood off the sword, or the watermelon juice, rather. And then there's and then chiburi, there you go. And it ends up being a full circle for Zoom team and for anyone who's watching this later. As I go this way with it, you'll see I turn my palm up, and then it's a full circle. So the sword comes behind me first, and then I make this full circle, right? Boom, full circle, and then forward. Sure, if you want, you can go grab some now. Remember, stitching time saves 9. Heard that? Never have to sew your clothes. Fix it when it's broken just a little bit before it breaks good. Another way to say it, kill the house before it gets small. Hello. right, so now let's go into some of the cutting. So set your side off to the side. And if I go straight up and down, that is referred to as the vertical cut. If I go from my shoulder to the hip, diagonal cut. If I go flat across, it's the horizontal cut, right? So we're going to do this with both sides forward. You're going to have a good hard bow stand, and I'm coming up, and then I chop down, up, chop down. And as you're doing that little bit of a stand up, it's just challenging for me to move my stance, right? So, but it would normally be if I stand or as I stand, I'm coming up. So my knees are bent, and then I step up, right? So from here, a little bit of a bend, and then stand up just a little bit as you get that cut, right? And drop, go. Nice strong base stand, wide stances, yes. Full hard bows. I'm on my way, Mr. Rick Ryan Clark. It's hard to hear on the vertical ones. You see how lovely your sister's great big huge hoop earrings are? And I would hate someone to sort of get stuck in one of those and rip it right out of their head. Oh my. Good. I would just go that way. It would be safer. Yeah. Follow your brother. He went that way. Safer than cutting across the side. Switch your feet. Put your other side forward. There. Save your spot right up there. If I instructed. So for Zoom team, in case you guys couldn't hear me or see me before, I'm a good hard bow stance, and I'm coming over, and I cut down. And as I do that, so I'm trying to think bend and then step right up, right? Vertical cut, one. And now diagonal cuts. Keep that same side forward for right now. And so now I'm just coming up from my shoulder. I'm going to come right down to the head. So I come up and then I cut down. Up, over the head, from the shoulder to the head. Go to work. Remember, don't turn your stance. Don't twist into it. Keep your hips forward. Yes. You're coming from your right shoulder to your left hip right now. We'll change it in a minute. With this one, don't change your stance. Keep your stance solid. Good hard. Laying down already? Now, same stance, but go the other direction. So now from my left shoulder to the right hip. Up and then to the right. Go. There. Now switch your feet. And still cut from your left shoulder to your right hip. So what's going on? I can't tell which one's mine, which one's else's. Yeah, you should be watching this kind of moves. You're like 9. And keep your feet the same, but go the opposite way from your right shoulder to your left hip now. Okay, right, we do that one now. Right. And time, and now horizontal cut. Keep your stance the same. So now you're going to go from one side to the other with this one, because I want to get moving into the combination. So I'm going to cut from one side, I'm going to flip the sword over, and I'm going to cut on the other side, right? So again, I'm going to go horizontal cut, horizontal cut, horizontal cut, horizontal cut, right? One side right to the other side. Go. There, same side forward. Swing out here. Let's see it, Shivansh. That's it, good, nice work. Make sure when you're holding it, Zoom team, your grip should be all the way at the top and then all the way at the bottom. So not baseball bat grip, but separated hand grip, right? That's better. And switch feet. Other foot's in the front, take Joe, go. more natural feel on this side. And then here, cut this elbow still stays up. So the blade is pretty much straightforward. So up here. And time. All right, so now, first cutting combination. We're going to go from bato, and then you're going to go horizontal cut step, and then hit a vertical cut, right? So with me, we have our swords here, and we draw the sword, bato, as I step to the right foot. I grab the sword, I come over the head, and I put flat across on the horizontal line, and then we step through with my left foot, bring the sword behind me, and then vertical cut, right? And then just step back, and then do it again. Bato, and then stay there as you do your horizontal cut, and then bring the sword around your body, just step to the left, vertical cut. And step back one more time, slow with me, bato, and then horizontal cut right from there, and then step through on the vertical cut, right? Practice that on your own, 25,000 times. So Zoom team, in case you couldn't hear or see, I'm here, and I'm gonna go bato, and then I grab the sword, stay there for the horizontal cut, and then step through to go to a vertical cut, right? If I play the left-handed samurai, then we're here, so I'm facing you, bato, and then I stay right there, come over the head, horizontal cut, and then I step through, I bring it behind my body, vertical cut. So once more without me chopping up some. Bato, and grab the sword over the head first, horizontal cut, and then step through the left, vertical cut.
See Shivansh, bato, and then stay still on the horizontal and then step on the vertical. Yes, and then step through vertical. That's better. Do it again. Stay there and then step through. And the only other thing I would say is bring the sword around you. So if you watch from this angle, I go bato. Actually, let me do it from this side. I go bato and then horizontal. And then notice how the sword keeps that motion and comes behind me to go to the vertical. Instead of I stop and then bring it back. I'm going to swing through and now I keep it coming through for a circle. So bato, horizontal. There you go. That's better, Shivansh.
Now it's going to be left. It's not going to be all the way around. I'm going to go here. All right, so it's a quick review, really quick on this one, and then I'm going to let you keep going at it. I'll do this sideways from this side. So I start off and I go bato, and then I come over my head, but it's not circular around my head. I go from here, up here, horizontal, and then it comes around on the vertical, right? So again, from this angle, I cut on the first one, this is like around 45 on that one, and then I come over my head, not around my head, horizontal, and then I do circle around to go to vertical, right? Couple more times, go. And then we'll go to the next. A little different than what we did last. Good, and time. All right, so now going to the second cutting combination. So now with the second one, and instead of going to basso, we're going to start with the sword in front of us this way, right? Instead of over the head. And I'm going to actually make the first one a block now instead of basso. Now, of course, the edge is a finely tuned, sharpened sword edge that hopefully can cut through paper. Do you suppose I want to block with that? No, I want to block with the flat of the sword, right? So this is the same thing in Filipino martial arts, is they're going to cut with the blade, they're going to block with the flat of the sword. So from here as the block comes in, I turn the blade up to the ceiling, hoping that the sword is going to cut on the flat and slide off of it, not cut on my blade and dull my blade, right? So I'm going to block here, and then I'm going to come around and I'm going to go horizontal. I'm going to bring it around my head, but then I'm going to go 1, 2, diagonal, horizontal, diagonal, horizontal vertical, which is a little different than what we did last week. Last week, I wanted you just to understand the different cutting angles. So we were going like, I think we did vertical, diagonal, horizontal, or we went horizontal, diagonal, vertical, whichever it was, you were just kind of going around the same side of your body. But now you're going to switch sides of your body, right? So I'll do what we do this. So I'm going to go block, and then I'm going to start off horizontal. Wait, no, diagonal, sorry. Diagonal, and I'm going to flip it over, go horizontal, and then I'm going to come down vertical, right? So it's going to be block, diagonal, flip the sword over horizontal from that side, and then flip through on vertical. You get my thing. What do you think you do now? Right? So again, the sword's here, step out with the right. Diagonal, come right off of the diagonal, and it's like I'm slicing right back where that block was. Imagine Brady like swings at me with that diagonal, and I go here to block, right? Look at how that diagonal just slides right in, right? So I go block, and then I come right into my diagonal cut, flip the sword over horizontal cut, step through vertical cut, right? So practice that 82,000 times, and a little closer for the Zoom team. So for you guys, I'm starting with the sword this way, and then I step off to the side as I block, and I go right into the diagonal. My sword flips over as I go horizontal, and then I step through, and then I go vertical. And one more time from this side, and then block, right into the diagonal cut, flip the sword over horizontal cut from the left shoulder, over the right shoulder, vertical cut. So if you guys were behind me in class, it would go block, right side diagonal, from the left shoulder horizontal, and then over the right shoulder, and then come down vertical as you step the block, right? Off you go.
So ready, block, diagonal, stay there horizontal, and then step through on the vertical. That's it, Shivansh.
Vertical, that last one, right over the top of your head. have a block, yes, I'm gonna block, but then I'm gonna cut right away. Oh, yeah. Because I just block, if I take it down the step, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just go right right off the switch. Chop your head off. And then left your body. They're drawn and quartered. Everyone's drawn. Yes, step at the beginning, stay there. Which is the same way with the first one. Step on Bato, stay there. Step on the first one. And then go on, stay there. Step on the third one. And now step into the diagonal. And time. All right, so I'll leave you those two cutting combinations, then we're going to play with flipping the sword for just a moment. When you're practicing these at home, take your time, show the biggest range of motion you can. So instead of worrying about going fast, remember that slow develops skill. Fast develops speed and power. But what's more important, speed and power or skill? Right? So we want to think slow is what develops skill. So I want to think I'm going slow, I'm getting here, I'm going this one, right? And then big circle, right? I'm trying to show the fullest range of motion. Now, most of you are probably never going to get into a fight with a katana in the street. But if you did, you'd want to have as best skill as you could. And if I practice a lot just fast and short ranges of motion, in the fight or flight syndrome, those ranges of motion are going to become bigger and sloppier, or they're going to become even smaller in fighting, right? So you want to think instead, I want to practice here and think full range, so that if I did need it, and I leave and I have my katana with me and somebody jumps me, and I have to step into the ribbons, I tend to lose it. Make sense? All right, so now we're just going to practice that. So all you're going to do is I'm going to just keep my palm up, hit the flat of the blade against the bottom of my arm, and it's just going to roll around my arm. The faster you do it, without going too fast, remember some of you, well, actually, they'll probably tend to push towards that wall more than the wind. But I'm just going to hit, let it roll, catch to the left, right? Hit, let it roll, catch to the left. And start slow, but just try and get into that, right? Boom, boom. And eventually you'll get the speed and finally down. The opposite is release. Sure, you go with the palms down. Yeah, what? Palm down. It doesn't work at all. Mine's broken. Palm down. No holes in the mat. I think this one might be 69 really quick. Actually, maybe 20 weapons falling on the mat. You pay the bill for the mat, you say, yeah, that's all right, so anyway, you can practice that one at home. You have to be able to do it 10 times in a row before you practice it again in school, because otherwise, that can capture the math. Since each one of these mats costs approximately $150, probably not a good thing for a whole. Good answer, right? So there you have it. Practice three cutting combinations. Again, the first one is what? Plateau, and then horizontal. Why would you keep doing that if we just talked about it, right? Horizontal and then vertical. And then the second one started with a block, and then the next cut was a diagonal, and then horizontal, and keep this in mind. You step on the first part of the combo, and then you step on the vertical, right? So on the first one, I step on the plateau, and then I hold my ground on the horizontal, I step on the vertical. On the second one, I step on the block, I hold my ground for the next two, I step on the vertical, right? So leave it that way, it's pretty simple to remember, right? And everybody set. Relax, Anthony. As a dedicated student of the martial arts, I will live by the principles like health, modesty, courtesy, integrity, self-control, perseverance, and indomitable spirit. What is the goal? Neutral stance, position, set, courtesy, out, impact martial arts, and you may leave one by one, making sure you're staying socially to yourself.
Bye.
Oh, my. I will say that today I was working on a concept of teaching to the student team.